Today is another day. Welcome to our channel. Today we will talk about finding strength in weakness when God becomes our power. The truth about weakness and strength. There comes a moment in life when we hit a wall, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. It is that moment when exhaustion creeps in, when our best efforts seem fruitless, and when no amount of willpower can push us forward. Society tells us that strength is about having it all together, about standing tall no matter what. But what if true strength is found in admitting that we can't do it alone? The world glorifies self-sufficiency, yet scripture tells a different story. St. Paul, a man who endured shipwrecks, imprisonment, and persecution, pleaded with God to remove his suffering. But God's response was not deliverance from pain. It was a promise. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 9. This verse isn't just poetic encouragement. It is an invitation to see weakness differently. It is a call to stop striving for control and instead lean into the strength that only God can provide. Weakness is not the enemy. It is the space where God's grace works most powerfully. How can weakness become a source of grace? As to rely on God. Think about a time when you felt completely overwhelmed. Maybe you were facing a tough decision, experiencing loss, or struggling with self-doubt. In those moments, you will likely realize something profound. I can't do this on my own. That is the beauty of weakness. It humbles us. It reminds us that our strength is not enough, and that is okay, because God's strength is more than enough. Consider Peter. He was bold and eager, quick to declare his devotion to Christ. Yet, when the moment of testing came, he denied Christ 3 times. Peter's greatest failure could have been the end of his story, but instead it became the turning point that led him to a deeper reliance on God. After his fall, he was restored and became the rock upon which Jesus built his church. Lesson for the day. Your weakest moments are not the end. They are the beginning of deeper trust in God. Instead of fighting to appear strong, surrender and allow him to carry you. 2. Weakness makes us more compassionate. Pain changes us. When we experience struggle, whether it is sickness, financial hardship, or emotional turmoil, we begin to understand the suffering of others on a deeper level. Imagine a woman of success and ambition. She worked tirelessly, building a career, never stopping to acknowledge the struggles of those around her. Then, out of nowhere, she faced a devastating loss. She lost her job, her sense of identity, and her confidence. In the depth of her weakness, she discovered something unexpected: compassion. Before, she had dismissed the struggles of others. Now, she noticed them. She listened more, loved deeper, and realized that strength isn't found in personal achievement, but in walking alongside others in their pain. Lesson. Your struggles are not wasted. They shape you into a person who can extend grace and empathy to others. 3. Weakness is the space where God's power is revealed. One of the greatest misconceptions we have is that we need to fix ourselves before God can use us. We think our weaknesses disqualify us, but in reality, they are the very thing that makes room for his power. Consider Moses. He doubted his ability to speak. Gideon saw himself as the weakest in his family. David was just a shepherd boy when he was anointed to be king. None of these people were strong by the world's standards, yet God chose them, precisely because of their weakness. God isn't looking for perfect people. He is looking for willing hearts. When we surrender our weaknesses to Him, He steps in and does what He cannot. Lesson for this: stop waiting to feel strong enough. God uses broken, imperfect, and weak people because it is never about our power but His. Leaning into God's strength. Instead of running from our weaknesses, we can bring them before God in prayer. Lord, I feel weak. I feel incapable. I don't have all the answers and I don't know how to move forward. But I trust you. I believe that your grace is enough. Strengthen me, guide me, and use me even in my brokenness. I surrender my weaknesses to you today. God doesn't ask us to be perfect. He asks us to let Him be our strength. When we stop resisting our weaknesses and instead embrace them as opportunities for grace, we create a space for His power to transform our lives. Reflection for the day. When have I experienced God's strength carrying me through a difficult time? How can I stop seeing my weaknesses as limitations and start seeing them as opportunities for grace? What is one struggle I need to surrender to God today, trusting that His grace is enough? Instead of hiding your weaknesses, share how God has worked through them. Encourage someone today by reminding them that His strength is made perfect in weakness. Thank you for today. God bless you.